Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Screening Success Virtual Promotional Product Show. Today, you are listening using your computer speaker system by default. You will have the opportunity to submit questions to Damien by typing them into the questions pane on the control panel. You may send in your questions at any time. We will collect these and address them during the Q&A session at the end. To give a brief introduction on today's presentation, Screening Success are manufacturers and importers of hybrid clothing and Storm Creek performance wear. Wholesale suppliers to the promotional, uniform and corporate distributors of sublimated sportswear, indent merchandise and Storm Creek performance wear. Screening Success supplies and distributes Australia and New Zealand wide with quality sportswear covering all sports. The company also has a sourcing office in China, assisting various clients with merchandise projects, and is an authorised importer and wholesaler of Storm Creek performance wear. Now, before I play the pre-recorded presentation, I would like to mention, currently with the high volume of Zoom communication users at one given time, there may be a slight delay. However, after the presentation, I will send you a copy of the original video file.
Hi all, my name is Damien from Screening Success. We are a manufacturer of sportswear, in particular sublimated sportswear. Apart from sportswear, we do a lot of custom-made hoodies, t-shirts, polos, jackets, that sort of thing. But we market ourselves mainly as hybrid clothing in the industry, which is our house brand, so to speak. Having said that, we make for a lot of different brand labels. They're sublimated sportswear. When APPA first approached me to speak online about sublimated sportswear, I had to think about what they actually present. I can't sort of hang up 50 t-shirts and polos and show them to you instantly. So I'll just bring it down to a generalization about what happens in the marketplace. Firstly, you break it down into three different categories in the industry. Firstly would be the corporate teamwear, the fun runs, the events that certain corporations run. Our second market will be grassroots clubs, sporting clubs in Australia. There's many different codes, all have a need for uniforms, and many distributors out there look after them in that regard. Thirdly, which is a growing market, is the schoolwear market, which is growing quicker than expected due to even schools saying, oh, we can now brand our shirts a bit easier, a bit quicker. We don't have to worry about inconsistencies of fabric colours to keep our uniforms looking the same. So that's making life for uniform coordinators slightly better. So I may ask you, what makes a sublimated sportswear so popular in today's world? The answers are very short and simple. You can do great graphics, and beside this you can see lots of different colours there, lots of different print positions on garments like that. Thirdly, there's generally no setup cost other than some artwork, which makes it very simple. And the other point is that small runs can be done, and repeat runs can be even easier with 10-minute minimums as a repeat run. So making it a very viable option for selling as a product by distributors. So you may ask yourself, what makes sublimated sportswear so popular in today's market? The answer is very short. Great graphics can be printed in multiple print positions. Logos here, logos there, logos here, logos on the back, makes no difference. 10 sponsors, 20 sponsors, it makes no difference. Your setup costs are relatively low once you've got an artwork file generated. And print runs are low as well, with minimums of 20 as a starting order and repeat orders of 10. Now, there's been many occasions where we've done 10 shirts as a starting order, and the client would come back a year later saying, listen, I need another 5 shirts, there's been some new team members, some new numbers, some new names. Can we do this? We can look after that. The other part is flexibility. Within 20 shirts as an order, you can do 8, 9, 10 different sizes, from a 7XL to a youth size 2, as one order. Then once repeat runs are printed and supplied, you will find that the colour match is generally very much the same as last year's shirt, so that you've got a consistency of colours across different orders supplied. And ultimately your client will want a modern looking garment. When considering sportswear, a few points need to be considered. Purpose, so the product needs to be right for its usage. For argument's sake, you don't want to sell a standard singlet to a dance team or to an AFL team. Function, the product's got to work for what it needs to do, i.e. does it need to be for protection wear, does it need to be for visibility, does it need to be just for advertising or for ruggedness, i.e. an on-field product. Performance, make sure the client is clear on what the garment is going to be used for. Do you want it to be field match gear, or do you want it to be a supporter shirt, or just basically a promotion where they want as low cost possible to get their message out there? Garment fit. It's amazing how many patterns we actually have on file for many different reasons. Many clients have a thought in their head about, oh, I've seen a shirt out there and I would like to make something similar, but fail to clearly explain it to you as the people buying from us. So you need to actually sound them out and say, listen, what is it that you're after? What is the purpose? What is the reason you need this garment? Oh, we just want a cheap shirt, or oh, we want our sporting strip to do this and that. Very important. Apart from that, you've got a choice of fabrics to use. So we carry about 10 different fabrics in our factory on the shelf, and some fabrics are not used for rugby gear, and some fabrics are not used for swimwear. The key to it is select what you need for the right purpose. We have a chart for that. We also have a handy fabric booklet which people can touch and feel, which is very important in clothing as far as I'm concerned. I'm wearing what is probably the most common shirt used in the marketplace. This is a 160 GSM micro mesh moisture wicking shirt. It's comfortable, it's cool, it performs well. It would probably stand for about 95% of sales. The other questions we have a lot is when people come to us and say, listen, we need to make a t-shirt, it's a round neck, is it any different with a price on a v-neck or a different collar with an insert panel? We don't actually charge more for that. It's too hard to try and work it out in the price list. A v-neck, a round neck, all the same price. The other thing that we do a lot of is client labeling. So we set clients up with their own labels on the shelf so that we can do 10 shirts, 20 shirts, whatever it is, but they have consistently their garment label in their shirts once the order is delivered. We talk about artwork in our industry everywhere. Artwork is the key part of manufacturing sublimated sportswear. You use low quality artwork, you're going to get a rubbish print result. It's as simple as that. So we work with vector graphics wherever we can, simply because we have many different garment sizes to make within one print range, and by doing so we can scale it from small shirts to large shirts. That means that when you have 7 different garment sizes out in the same space, people wearing it, it all looks the same. We carry templates for all the products that we make. We have about 50 different garment products as a general guide. And we can assist with redraws of artworks, setting up files, that sort of thing. That will be your only setup cost within sublimation. It can be sometimes very easy, and sometimes we have incredibly complex artwork designs which requires days of artwork, and that's, you know, when you have half tones and whatnot, which becomes very expensive. Note when you're working with artwork, PMS colours is still the preferred way to communicate between you and us. Many clients out there, your clients, don't even know what their PMS colours are. So we supply a print colour chart from which you can actually pick colours and shades, print codes, in case you don't know quite what to work with. It's very simple. We do print everything out in a CMYK technology, but during pre-press time, if we need to print PMS 485, which is bright red, it is better to know that than not to know it. Because if you supply something in that colour to your client and they already ordered somewhere else in the past a 485 or a red, you want to make sure it somewhat matches. We also get a lot of questions about names and numbering for sportswear. It's pretty simple. Names are an additional cost. We've got Joshua here on his shirt. Numbering is no cost to any of our work because it's a sequential print run anyway. Here's one with a number on it. So, numbering is, 1 to 100, whatever you want it to be. But some sporting codes require a font particular to that code for their numbers. For argument's sake, with basketball, you have a small number on your front and a large number on your back. Whereas with soccer, you only start with U size 12 and onwards, or upwards, with their numbering. So that's sort of a few things you need to keep in mind. Again, when you're talking to sports clubs, they will generally tell you what they're looking for. One final thing that we also print is high-vis. That's just a panel. And this is a fully worked shirt in high-vis. There are additional charges to high-vis printing because it is actually a very expensive ink and a very expensive setup time for the machinery to print that colour. On our website, hybridclothing.com.au, we have a huge range of print blocks in terms of designs that you can actually download and actually play with, change the colours, upload your logo for a client, and so present something in a very quick time frame to give them some idea of what they could potentially be looking for. Or you could actually send them the link and say, here, I have a look, there's about 100 different styles and polos here. Is there something that you're looking for? That starts the dialogue. The rest can then be sorted out over the phone and email. The timing of orders. Our orders generally work in a 4-week space. The first week is order taking, processing, print sampling, because what we do is, even though you do an artwork approval to your client or to yourself, we will still do one print run of the print to make sure that the pre-press designer has made no errors, that the colors come out as they should be, for the final approval to go to production. Week 2 and 3 are generally production. Week 4 is packing, shipping, air freight, and local delivery. For people in Northern Territory and WA, you tend to have an extra 2 to 3 days on top of it, but sometimes we can work around that and ship slightly earlier in our system and get it out there. We have a full price list with 50 different products on it, which we can email to the clientele out there, and they can work with that. Everything that we do works on air freight because there is no such thing as, oh, I have 3 to 4 months to deliver a job, unless it's for a major event where we can do like a larger freight consignment. I hope you enjoyed what we just spoke about. As always, there is so much more to say than what we can do in 8 minutes space, but I'll thank you for your time.
Thank you, Damien, and the Screening Success team for putting together this presentation. Just looking through the question and answer control panel, it doesn't appear that we have any questions. However, if any do come to mind after the presentation, please feel free to send them through to Damien. So his email address is damien@screeningsuccess.com.au. I will also include his email in the follow-up email I will send out on Monday with a copy of the recording. And so that way you are able to email him directly should you like a copy of the price list and any other questions you may have. So on behalf of the Screening Success team and APPA, thank you for joining us today, and I hope you have a great afternoon. Thank you.